Hey, how's it going, guys? We are back with the final reaction for season 1 of Book of Boba Fett. I trust there is a second season coming after this, but this is the end of season 1. It's been quite the journey. I think for me personally, I think the people who've had mixed reviews, that from what I've seen, the people who've had mixed reviews that I've seen so far have been pretty much the minority. I think most people I follow online have kind of said great things about this and have actually enjoyed the season pretty much as I have, if not more. Personally, I've really enjoyed the first season. I thought it was great. Even even with despite like the Mandalorian heavy centric one being the last episode, being the more kind of like buzzed about and that being the more hyped and the more talked about and the more kind of buzzed about. I still think even the Boba episodes before that were great. I think this show so far has actually done like a really great job, along with his appearance in season 2 of Mandalorian, in actually reestablishing him into the Star Wars universe and actually bring him back into the fold and doing some really interesting things with him. So. I've really enjoyed the show for what it's been. I've really enjoyed the story for what it's been. So can't wait to see how this first season culminates and if it actually does leave any open ends for a season 2 or even for like a Boba Fett kind of return in season 3. Maybe if he actually comes into season 3 this time and like maybe if in season 3 he has his own episode that's actually bigger than or as big as any kind of like Mandalorian episode or something. So hopefully they can do Boba Fett some like continue doing Boba Fett some more justice. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, for now, season 1, so the ending. So I mean, last time we had a Mandalorian heavy one. Last time we had a Mandalorian heavy episode, and it showed Mando kind of continuing doing some bounty work and actually wanting to find Grogu. He actually wanted to find Grogu, and he reunited with the Armorer and Paz Vizsla and everything, and then they kind of gave him some backstory on the Darksaber and Tar Vizsla, the original Mandalorian Jedi who created the Darksaber, and like the Knight and like some Mandalorian history with the Night of a Thousand Tears and the Purge of Mandalore and all that kind of jazz. So they gave him some of that history, and then Paz actually being a part of the bloodline that created the Darksaber, he kind of felt some sense of inheritance and maybe arguably more than Bo-Katan Kryze, because I think her one, I think even the armor mentioned that her claim was based upon inheritance and like blood lineage and her kind of ownership of the Darksaber, but then it turned out to be illegitimate, and then nothing but chaos and destruction actually followed in her wake of in the wake of her newfound leadership and everything. So I think Paz Vizsla being like from that direct descent, like for being like a direct descendant of Tar Vizsla, I think he kind of like actually displayed like a bit more inheritance overall. So they dueled and they fought, and then Din kind of pretty much overcame him. He overpowered him, and then came the big question from the armorer of like whether or not either of them had actually taken off their helmets at all ever since they were inducted into the Mandalorian Creed and everything. And Paz didn't. Paz was a good Mandalorian. He didn't. Din was a bit more of a spotty Mandalorian. He did take off his helmet multiple times in front of different people. I mean, not like he wasn't taking it off like all willy nilly, but I think he took it off in case of emergencies, in case of like actual kind of need and stuff. The first time was in front of a droid, and the second time he did it to access the computer systems, and then the time after that he actually did it to say goodbye to Grogu, and I think so like three times from what I've counted. So yeah, but either way, he still took it off. And in the Mandalorian Creed, that is a big no-no. And I think I've seen people kind of responding to that differently too. Like on the one hand, being like like he on the one hand agreeing that he didn't really kind of do it like in a way that was blasphemous or even kind of abusive of Mandalorian rules, or he didn't take it off thinking, oh, there's no Mandalorians here to see me. So he didn't do it wanting to abuse the rules or wanting to break the rules, but he did it in times of need and distress and everything. So there was that, but then also the fact that like now the Armorer and Paz themselves have also kind of confirmed that they are like the last few Mandalorians that they know of that are actually left. So in a time like this, like should the Armorer really be pushing another surviving Mandalorian away? Should she not be actually making exceptions or actually trying to take that kind of stuff into account before pushing him away or something? So it's a good point. It's a good point. I think they are like the last few surviving, and I think if they really are going to build a covert, a new covert, but also like one that's actually as strong as they want it to be, then I think they need to kind of keep all hands on deck and actually try and make some little kind of things here and there. So yeah, but I think in that time, I think they also kind of vaguely referenced the fact that there were different kind of sects of different Mandalorian creeds and different kind of like fairly kind of different-ish kind of rules for different kind of sects to follow and everything. So that was kind of brought up very briefly with Bo-Katan Kryze as well, so that was cool. But we had Mandalorian, we had Mandalorian history, we had Din learning about learning a bit about the Darksaber, both theoretically and also physically too. Him actually fighting, him actually training with the armor to actually try and learn how to wield the Darksaber and everything. But then for him it was too heavy. He was fighting against it. He couldn't really kind of control it properly and everything. And then I think now, especially because Din is going to go to the Jedi. He's gonna go to the Jedi Academy run by Luke to meet Grogu. People have theorized, oh, so Luke's gonna teach Grogu about the Force, and then him being like an actual Jedi Master, he's gonna teach Din how to wield the Darksaber. So I think if that happens, then without a doubt, one of the coolest things they could do. So all depends on because at the end of the episode, he did kind of say to Fennec that that before he joined Boba's War, he was gonna have to go visit his little friend. So all depends on whether or not we actually see that happening in this episode, or if it's actually gonna be him coming back and having even better mastery over the Darksaber than we've seen. So I mean, it depends on how much he could really learn in that time too. Like, 'cause I think the war is upcoming, and so training with a lightsaber or a Darksaber, but could arguably take in even more time. So it all depends on the timing. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, we had Fennec coming in at the very. I think Fennec coming at the very end was like, I think pretty much the only thing connecting that kind of episode to the Boba Fett storyline too. I think before that it was just kind of showing us where Mando was, and I think essentially acting somewhat as like an opener or like a prelude to the Mandalorian season 3, and actually offering us some kind of story hints and actually kind of giving us some little kind of like little tips as to what direction they were actually going to take the new Mandalorian in. So now, yeah, he is a Mandalorian without a creed. He is. I mean, he's not really even a Mandalorian anymore. But I think if he still wants to go by that kind of label, then he's a Mandalorian without a creed. He's without a clan, without a house, and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be fun seeing how he continues that journey into his own show. So yeah, and then at the very end, he was then contracted by Fennec to kind of be some hired friendly muscle for Boba's army in his war against the Pyke. So hopefully we'll see that team up happening in this episode too. But yeah, I guess we'll see. So yeah, and then yeah, he also got he also got a new gunship too. He got like an N1 starfighter that was commissioned, not credited, commissioned by the Queen of Naboo. So he got a new he got a new craft. He learned how to fly it. He kind of got accustomed to it and everything. So he got that one from what's her name? Pelimoto or Pelimoto, I think Pelimoto, the Mos Eisley kind of ship mechanic and everything. So she is working with more droids, and she's actually doing some more mechanic stuff, and she actually got a new replacement for the Razor Crest for Mando. So that was mighty cool of her. So yeah, that is pretty much off the top of my head everything I can really think of. But yeah, assuming he actually comes back in time after having received even the briefest bit of training from Luke, then we might even see him having some cool Darksaber tricks in this episode. So yeah, that is pretty much all I got. So I think now going forward, now that Boba's assembled his army, I think he's pretty much mostly assembled his army. He's got some fighters, but he kind of like has Mando added to the crew now too. So that's easily worth at least 2 or 3 people. So Fennec, Boba, Mando, just like the ultimate kind of dream trio, So that is also like another dream trio we've had too. So we had Han, Luke, and Leia. We had Anakin, Padme, and Obi-Wan. We had Poe, Rey, and Finn, and now we have Boba, Fennec, and Mando. Like they keep giving us awesome trios. Whether it's in movies or in streaming series. So we never lose. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got from the last one. So on to war. Time to go to war now with Boba Fett. So we'll see exactly how that fares for them. So yeah, chapter 6 of the book of Boba Fett. So let's go. Cobb Vanth! Oh, Cobb's back! Cobb Vanth is back! Okay, the sheriff. Are they gonna pull their guns out? No, they're gonna pull! Oh, he's a sharp shot. He is a sharp shot.
Anyone gets lost running spice through Mos Pelgo again will be lost forever.
Oh, boy. Even Cobb Vanth giving them a verbal ass whooping. Yeah. Oh, there's a SR2! SR2 is oh god, they gotta be nearby.
Hello, friend.
No, friend.
I'm looking for
Droids are his friends now. Imagine if they did a reverse and had Luke training Grogu in a swamp or something.
Is anyone here?
Anyone home?
Anyone
Where the fuck is
alive?
Luke? Anyone alive? Probably not a good thing to. Probably not a good question to ask about Luke's Jedi Academy. Is anyone alive? Are they out training maybe, and they can't be disrupted? Maybe that's it. Maybe he is in a swamp. Maybe he is literally training him in a swamp, like miles away or something. Oh, he can use the Force to levitate the frog. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he uses the Force when he wants to. He uses the Force, and he has complete mastery of said Force when he wants to. Yeah. Oh. Grogu. Oh, he's bringing the frog back. Oh, he's bringing the frog back. Oh, all the frogs. Oh, all the poor frogs. All the poor frogs. Think about the Force instead of the frogs, and you can lift all the frogs you want.
I want to tell you about someone you remind me of a great deal.
Jedi Master Yoda.
He was small like you, but his heart was huge, and the Force was strong in him.
Oh, that's so cute.
Size matters not. That's how he talked.
In one of the coolest ways possible.
Let me help you remember.
Oh, home. Because I think his memory of the Jedi Temple is actually really fuzzy. Like, he was there 1 minute, then things went to shit, and he doesn't remember anything after that. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Whoa. So these would be Clone Wars, right? This would be Clone Wars. Pretty sure this would be Clone Wars. Oh, jeez. So he just watched other Jedi fall. God. I can't blame him. Even if I sit down for too long, I take a nap too. Ahsoka! Ahsoka's here!
I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, Ahsoka's here. That's so cool.
I'm an old friend of the family.
Oh, yeah, well, you can say that
I
again.
thought you
Yeah.
weren't going to help train Grogu.
There's nothing now, but will someday be a great school.
That will then be destroyed by Ben
Grogu
Solo.
will be its first student.
Oh, okay.
Let us take a walk.
So that's a no then. You're going to take him on a walk and tell him all the reasons why he can't see Grogu just yet. Or even anytime soon. That's how these things always go. Oh, he's right there! He's right there! She took him to him.
As a Mandalorian foundling, he should have this. It's his right.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Beskar, so I mean that.
Perhaps he is a Padawan now.
Okay, well, can a Padawan not still have a foundling gift? Is that a federal crime under Jedi jurisdiction? Seriously, just one visit. Is that gonna kill anyone?
Then allow me to deliver it.
Okay. They're not gonna give us this, are they? They're not gonna give us this.
I came all this way.
They're not gonna give us this. These fuckers.
It's right there.
They're not gonna give us this. They're not gonna give this to us, are they?
If he sees you,
It will just reignite old.
it will only make things more difficult for
He'd
you.
miss him all the more. Oh, god damn it. Why do you have to be right, Ahsoka? Why? Just... Seriously. All this fucking way. Would Grogu not sense him with the Force? Would he not sense like an old and familiar presence in the distance? Well, I mean, he said he needed to see a little friend. He saw him. He technically did see him. You know, he did see him, so he wasn't lying. Oh, Grogu. Oh. Oh. What? No, that is unfair. That is unfair. That is actually unfair.
All right. It's time to continue.
That is actually unfair. That is so unfair. That is actually so unfair. Wow. Why am I crying at that? Ugh. That is actually so unfair. Just no, you don't pull some, you know, non-shit like that and then do a distant goodbye wave. That is unfair. No, I don't know.
Don't try.
Oh,
Do.
do or do not. There is no try. Words from one of your ancestors. Yeah. He's carrying Grogu on his back just like with Yoda too. Yeah, going the classic route. Yeah, I've actually been rewatching the original trilogy. I actually rewatched Empire Strikes Back for A New Hope yesterday. Yeah. Oh, you can do it. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. You got it. You got it. I believe in you. You got it. You got it. Oof. 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 Does he get like a mini little lightsaber? That would be so cool if he got like a mini little like it would be like a toothpick or like a, I don't know, like a toothpick or like a needle, you know? It shoots laser, doesn't it? Is it meant to shoot laser? Yep. Oh yeah, it shoots lasers. Yeah, it shoots lasers.
Get back up. Always get back up.
Oof. Oh, it did a backflip. Nice.
Very good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just hopping from rock to rock. Is he not a little young for this stuff? Like, would he not be just learning better how to control things and levitate things? No, just just like a small little green beans jumping from rock to rock. Oh, he's taking the droid down. Is he taking the droid down? He took the droid down, yeah. No more training remote. Look what happened.
You've taught him well. So much like your father.
Oh, you take a nap right here. You take a nap right here. Huh.
May the Force be with you.
Oh, dang. See you around, Ahsoka.
This is the Mandalorian Din Djarin. Thanks to him and Chrysanthemum, we now have enough experienced muscle to act as enforcers. We need foot soldiers.
I might be able to help with that.
You will? Oh, Jawa. Oh, Jawas. Is he gonna call on the Jawas? Is he gonna call on the Jawas? Really? The foot soldiers? I mean, yeah, they would be foot soldiers. They would be foot soldiers, yeah.
Haven't seen you since you gave up your armor. How have you been?
Oh.
Careful. Where's the little guy?
Back with his own folk.
Yeah.
Can I buy you a drink?
Oh. Hey, since he asked so nicely.
But it's all part of the same planet.
That's true, yeah. The
We
Pikes
need
will
good people to
eventually
This
step
virus
up.
is bound to come through these parts.
They will eventually move in on you.
As long as I'm here, that's not a problem.
You sent off a warning shot. That doesn't mean they won't come back with more.
But I didn't think you were one to back down from bullies.
Mm.
See, that's what I like about you, Mando. That big smile of yours lets you get away with anything.
Who the hell is that in like a freaking cowboy hat? Who the hell is this? Is that Cade? Is that Cade? Cade something. I forgot what his second name is. Cade something from Clone Wars. I saw a picture of him on Twitter. That's Cade! Okay, I don't even know who he is. All I know is he's from Clone Wars. That's Cade. That's Cade. I can't remember what his last name is. That's Cade from Clone Wars.
Whatever Fett is paying you, we'll match.
Oh, is he working for the Pikes?
All you got to do is stay put and let things play out.
Yeah, he's got to be working for the Pikes.
Marshal ain't for sale.
It's Cade! Oh no, are we losing Cobb? Are we losing Cobb?
Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer who worked for the Empire.
This planet's seen enough violence.
Shit.
You should have never given up your armor.
Oh, sugar. Oh god. Is Cade gonna be faster? Oh god. I've never even seen this guy in action before and I'm already terrified. Deputy, you stay where the fuck you are. Deputy, you stay right where the fuck you are. Oh god. Deputy, you trigger happy little shove. Cobb? Cobb?
Tatooine belongs to the Syndicate.
Oh god, is he okay? Oh god, no, tell me that wasn't a lethal. Oh god, Cobb. Oh Jesus, so Cade is now in live action and he's working for the freaking Pikes, okay. So again, yeah, I have no idea who he is, I just know he's from Clone Wars and he's a bounty hunter, I think. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter, yeah. I've seen a couple of pictures of him circulating Twitter, so... Yeah, that's the full extent of my knowledge, I think the Pikes are here too. The Pikes are here. What were they here for? Did they leave something behind? Did they leave something behind? Did they plant something?
Wait! You forgot your Captuna!
Oh, I was gonna say a bomb. I was so gonna frickin' say. Oh god, they took out Garth's establishment. Fuck. God, fuck. Oh, it's chainmail armor. It's a bit of chainmail armor. It is chainmail armor.
The Mandalorian wanted you to have this.
Yeah, your daddy, Daddy Din. He wanted you to have this. Yeah.
I will give you a choice.
A choice between. Is he gonna give him a lightsaber? Is he gonna give him a lightsaber? Is he gonna make him choose between a lightsaber and?
This?
Oh, gee, that is gonna be massive in Grogu's hands. You kidding me?
My teacher, Master Yoda.
Oh, it's Yoda's one too. It's Yoda's one. Yeah, still, I mean, that's gonna be pretty big in Grogu's hands.
But you may choose only one.
That is such a dick move,
If you
Luke.
choose the armor, you'll return to your friend, the Mandalorian.
Oh,
But you will be giving into attachment to those that you love, and forsaking the way of the Jedi. You will be the first student in my academy.
I know
will
that.
train you to be a great Jedi, and you may never see the Mandalorian again. Because, Grogu, a short time for you is a lifetime for someone else.
God, that is such a at his age that is still such a horrible decision to have to make. What will he choose? We won't see, will we? We're not gonna see. We're not gonna see what he's gonna choose. That's it. Wait, that's the end. There's no war yet. Are we gonna have to wait until season 2 for the war? Are we gonna have to wait until season 2? Is there an episode like 7? Is there a secret episode 7 coming, or is that? I'm pretty sure this is meant to be the finale, right? Pretty sure this is meant to be the finale. But yeah, we start off with Cobb Vanth. Cobb Vanth made made a couple of surprising screen reprisals in this episode. Like from the opening too, he was actually stopping. He was stopping Pikes from the opening. He was stopping the Pikes in Mos Pelgo from the opening and everything. So he's now. But I think even back in his own first episode, he did kind of where he was branded martial after having received after having worn the Boba Fett armor and using those weapons and actually being in that armor and actually being able to protect Mos Pelgo in that armor. He was then branded martial, but then even now, having given up the armor, he's kind of shown initiative and leadership ability, and actually shown the kind of skills and incentive required to actually be the leader. So that they've kept him around as their marshal, and he's even got himself a deputy now. He's even got himself a deputy, so that's cool. But he did end up catching the Pikes, negotiating and talking and actually sorting out some spice and credit kind of stashes within Mos Pelgo territory, and then he very quickly caught wind of that, and even he's a good shot. He's a good shot against Pikes, but not so much against Cad Bane. So I now figured out that name. So. Yeah, so he's a good shot against Pikes. He sent them a warning shot. He sent them a warning shot and said, pretty much as far as I need, as far as I know, I haven't actually seen the cash. I haven't seen you doing any deals or trades or whatever. So you can very easily go back to wherever you came from, and then we can forget any of this ever happened. But then just remember, you can't use Mos Pelgo as your territory, because then if you do, then you'll be reminded again and again, each time more severe than the last, that this is not your trade route. This is not part of your territory. So you need to stick to your own guns and everything. So he sent them some warning shots, and he even actually let he even let the spice kind of run out, blah in the wind and everything. So he said his piece. He said his piece. So that opening alone was like a very nice reintroduction of Cobb Vanth into Tatooine kind of storyline territory and everything. So that was cool. I think it definitely does work, especially for the story, but especially geographically too. Actually showing people in different kind of Tatooine cities actually kind of being shown and being introduced to this new kind of Pyke Syndicate threat, and having them kind of be shown what's really at stake sooner rather than later. Because then if it's later, then again, like, it'll be too late and too heavy to stop, and then there'll be nothing left to protect and everything. So yeah. But then, so now I very quickly Googled it, and I think that name is also in my search history, because I'll tell you, right. So I think the last few days, I mean pretty much because of the fact that this is a week by week release and not like an all-in-one binge, and thank God for that. Because of that, people are constantly, even for days after the episode releases, and then even the days even in all the days leading up to the next episode, people are constantly theorizing and posting all their theories and posting all their pictures and posting all sorts of shit. So, I mean, not to say I don't have keywords and stuff blocked, and I am definitely avoiding spoilers, but at the same time, I have seen some stuff like slipping through the cracks, and after I watched the episode, then I feel free and safe to actually go online to see what people are saying. And I think after the last one, people did theorize about who could actually show up from the animated shows in live action to try and make this all the more kind of all the more deadly and like filled to the brim with stakes and all that kind of jazz. And people, I think some pictures I did recognize. I think it was I think most of what people were posting was like a mixture of pictures from both Rebels and Clone Wars too. So I think don't know exactly when or how Rebels takes place, but I know that's like another kind of spin-off / kind of solo series of its own. And then I think Clone Wars is like the more mainstream story. It takes place. I don't know which one Cad Bane is from. I'm pretty sure Cad Bane might be from Clone Wars. Because because the animation style is a bit different. I'm pretty sure like the actual animation style for Rebels and Clone Wars is actually different compared to each other. So I think that one might be like the one kind of differentiating factor I'm actually able to recognize. The animation style is kind of different. I feel like. I think Rebels kind of feels like somewhat more cartoonish, like just by like a tad, like it looks like a tad bit more cartoonish compared to Clone Wars. Like with Clone Wars, I think the animation kind of figures and the animation kind of designs look a bit more chiseled and refined and polished. But with Rebels, I think it looks a bit more kind of rounded and softer and. A bit more kind of cartoony. So not to say it looks bad. I mean, cartoons don't necessarily look bad either way. But I think Rebel just kind of looks that much more like easygoing and stuff and stuff. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure Cad Bane is from thing. I kept on calling him like Cade most because I think again I've only read the name like once or twice, maybe three times. I think people posted. I think more commonly people posted his picture. Most commonly, I think because he's also a bounty hunter. He's also very specifically a bounty hunter. So. More commonly, people were posting pictures of him saying, "Oh, please bring him into this. Maybe he shows up. Maybe he has something to do with this." So they were posting his picture and everything. So I think I fairly quickly got familiar with his picture of like him having like blue skin and the red eyes and the cowboy hat thing and then the tubes going into his neck and everything. So I very quickly got familiar with his picture and I think his name didn't really stick properly, as you could tell. I think kept calling him Cade and Cade Moss and stuff, but no, it's Cad Bane. So. Yeah, all the more reason for me to jump the heck into Clone Wars as soon as possible after this season. So yeah, because I think after this, like Disney Plus wise too, I think after this, I mean, we get the Ahsoka series at some point, but I don't know how kind of close that is or like where that is in development. I think the Obi-Wan series I think is currently filming. I'm pretty sure it's currently filming. And I think Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen are actually on board and on kind of on roll for that too. So that's gonna be cool. So I think I think that's meant to come out at some point this year. But either way, whatever is coming out next after this, Star Wars wise, I'm not really sure exactly how long until the next project. So I think either way, I feel like I think Clone Wars is definitely one of those kind of shorter run kind of episode kind of series too. So I think it shouldn't really be too kind of time like in enduring to actually time consuming even to actually get into it. So I think either way, I could very easily get into it ASAP after this, so that should be fun. But yeah, Cad Bane, I think as soon as the shot came up, I mean that introductory shot was so freaking good as well. That introductory shot was actually so really well placed. I think that classic kind of Wild Wild West shot of like a cowboy or someone in the distance and like the heat and stuff, kind of like filtering and like distorting the view and kind of distorting their silhouette and everything. But then you could see it's like a slimish kind of figure, and then the cowboy hat. I think the cowboy hat for me was what gave it away, because I think every picture I've seen of him, motherfucker's always wearing a cowboy hat. So I think as soon as I saw the cowboy hat, I was like, I've seen this somewhere before. Could it possibly be? Could it be? And then they didn't even show him again until after they actually got the close up again. They didn't show him again until he actually got closer and closer. I think they showed one, maybe two shots of him in the distance walking up, and then it wasn't until after he actually got up to like 10, 20 feet away from Cobb Vanth that they actually did the actual close-up shot and they actually showed his face in his blue skin and everything. So I think I'm pretty sure anyone who knows him properly and has actually watched the Clone Wars is freaking the absolute fuck out right now seeing Cad Bane for the first time in live action. But yeah, I think that is pretty much the extent of my knowledge. He's in Clone Wars, he looks like this, and he's also a bounty hunter. So, I mean, him being a bounty hunter alone, I think is good enough reason to bring him into a setting and a story like this. So yeah, Cad Bane. I think that is also what I love so much about his appearance in this too. The fact that I know so little about him. I've never seen him before because I've never seen Clone Wars. I've never seen him in action in any shape or form. Only seen pictures and heard his name and had like the briefest of character descriptions, and I was already terrified in like the 5 minutes he was on screen. I was already terrified out of my wits. Like his voice is on point, his whole demeanor, like the way he looks up and his eyes are so big and round and or like even oval and red and everything. He's so into like, and then his like dialogue as well. Like he just gave off the most pristine vibes of a dude that you do not want to mess with. You do not want to reckon with this guy unless you have a death wish. So. Oh god, yeah, and he's a quick shot. He's a very quick shot. He's such a, I mean, on the one hand, he's a quick shot, but then also the fact that that deputy was just the trigger, just the most kind of the most. Just, I don't know why the deputy did what he did. I think because then if he does pull out his gun and start firing, then of course that kind of offers like a more chance of Cad taking out both of them and everything. So. The deputy, I feel like the deputy pulled a bit of like a dum-dum move right there, then potentially got them both killed. Because I'm pretty sure the deputy's dead. I think he got like 4 or 5 shots fired into him for being the one to actually pull out the gun first. But then I think Cobb only really got 1 shot. But I think I'm gonna have to go back and see if it went into like his chest or if his like stomach or something. But I mean, it's a blaster shot, so I mean almost anything can be lethal. But I'm hoping Cobb is only like injured and maybe like in like a coma or like at the like worst case scenario he's probably in like a coma or he's actually kind of severely injured, but then he needs like emergency medical and stuff. But hopefully they don't have to take out Cobb just to send the message. I mean on the one hand it would work, like they actually do the Pyke Syndicate does send Cad Bane of all people to actually send a message, and then he ends up killing Cobb Vanth. But then I think that stake would weigh heavier on Mando too. Like, he goes after someone that he's worked with before and asks him to fight in a war that like again. I mean, the stands there were real too. Like even if he left out for now, eventually they would get to him, and then it would be too late to stand down. So, but then still, like Mando goes after someone and actually asks for their help, and then leaves them alone, and then minutes later they actually end up dead at the hands of someone working for the Pyke. So. He's not going to feel the greatest about that. But yeah, Cad Bane, I need to get into Clone Wars. I need to get into Clone Wars. So, yeah, Cad Bane, I really wish I had more to say about him. I really wish I did. I think the fact that he's working with the Pikes too, I think is like a good enough kind of indication that like they know. I think maybe if they found out that Mando had been contacted by Boba, maybe if they actually found out that like an actual bounty hunter had been contacted by Boba himself, and then they thought, okay, maybe we need to get one of those for our sides then too. So then if they get a bounty hunter, if they get like an expert bounty hunter who's like an expert with weapons and shit, then we get one too. So then they went after Cad Bane. So again, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes on screen, and he's already shown himself to be like a very, very formidable kind of force. So, if don't know if that means we're actually going to get Cad Bane versus Mandalorian or something, but yeah, Cad freaking Bane. Yeah, so yeah, damn, just live action. Yeah, I think live action stuff. Live action introduction already is just blowing me off my feet. So I think it's safe to say that like actually seeing him in the animated series will definitely kind of just blow me away even more. So yeah, we have Cad Bane. So yeah. And then we did still have some Mandalorian-esque kind of I say some. We had a lot more Mandalorian-esque kind of aspects to this episode. We had a lot more Mandalorian kind of themed kind of parts. I think the predominant stuff being Luke training Grogu. So we got Luke and Grogu back. We got Grogu back. We got to have a baby boy, our beautiful green baby boy Grogu back, and he was being as mischievous as ever with the Force, trying to levitate frogs, trying to eat them, and trying to do some shit and everything. So he was training with the Force. And then Luke, we got Luke back. I think yeah. I mean, I feel like either way, in this one, I think that might be the question more too. Like with Luke being more prominent and even more visible in this scene compared to his previous appearance. I think the kind of question might come in as to which CGI looks better. And I think this one, again with this one, I think maybe like for me this one did look better. But then even then, it's like, it didn't, even if it was bad, I either didn't notice it or just didn't. I just really did not care enough to actually kind of critique it to that level or to that extent. I mean, they pulled off a great looking Cad Bane. They pulled off a great looking Cad Bane. So, with Luke, I think I'm pretty sure they put with Luke. I mean, with that just being like putting like a human face over like another human face, I think that probably would be like a somewhat like a more simplistic and more easier to actually kind of get done, even for the scenes and everything. So. Yeah, Luke was here. He was back and he was more prominent. He was in his black Jedi suit and he was doing his doing his thing. He was doing his thing and he was actually helping train Grogu as well. And I think this episode too, I think it had some really great parallels to him actually, both verbal and visual parallels to him. Him and his training undergone under Master Yoda as well. And even him actually kind of telling him like, oh, I actually knew someone like you once. His name was Master Yoda, and he actually taught me a lot of what I know about the Force and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we know. I'm pretty sure it was either. I'm pretty sure it was either Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi that Yoda actually died. Like he had like a Force death, and he joined the Force afterwards, and he actually died and everything. So I'm pretty sure this being set after the OT. I do kind of wonder how long it would be for Luke though, like how long it would have been for Luke since he lost Yoda, but then actually met another kind of being from his same species, and like how much of it. I mean, besides from just appearances and stuff, and maybe even mannerisms, like how much of Yoda he might still be able to see in Grogu, and like I mean, even by the time he met Yoda, Yoda had actually worked over his father. He had actually worked over his father, and he'd actually been like an actual Jedi Master for years. And even by the time he met him, he was in exile, and now simply kind of not reduced, but like resorted to actually teaching the ways of the Force to him, and to pretty much just to Luke after the exile and everything. So now it's like, now seeing Grogu, I think he is very well aware of like how old he might be in like realistic kind of like his own kind of species terms, but then still how young he still is at heart and how young he still is actually in being and everything. And then like maybe even wondering if like one day when he does start to speak, maybe he actually might start speaking as Yoda too. So then after that ultimatum to actually experience it, then that's going to be one hell of a nostalgia trip too. So that's going to be cool. But yeah, I mean him training Grogu definitely did kind of have some really cool callbacks and really kind of nice kind of references to him and his time with Yoda. So that was a really nice touch. So that was great. We also had like a bit of a glimpse through Luke's kind of Force access powers into Grogu's memories too. I think last season when Ahsoka, who was actually in this episode too, that's Ahsoka also returned in this episode. I think overall, I think this episode did have Star Wars kind of movie level feel vibes to it, like having different characters, having different kind of stories intersecting, and actually leading in different directions, and actually having different characters come in and do their piece, and like one thing leading into another, but then also actually setting up different kind of routes and different things. So I think it actually had like a movie scale kind of like story elements, but then actually condensed down to a single episode, and actually kind of like helping promote kind of big things going forward too. Because I think again we have the Ahsoka live action thing coming too, so I think now after this we'll see what she's up to, and then the Obi-Wan thing will have its own prequel kind of vibes to it, and then or like prequel slash like original kind of vibes to it and everything. So that would be cool. And then I think after this we definitely got to have a Book of Boba Fett 2 kind of season 2, and then Mando season 3 already having like lovely opportunities to be set up perfectly in the future too. So there was that. But yeah, I think in Mando season 2, I think Ahsoka did have like a glimpse in his memories, and actually did say that like he actually had some vague memories of being back at the Jedi Temple and everything, where he was actually born and raised and everything. But then after that, like some tragic stuff happened, and then after that everything was a blur and he couldn't remember anything. And then after that, he was actually like the last thing he did remember was actually being found by Mando in his little cradle in season 1. So yeah, I mean on the one hand, it like given how old he already is, I think on the one hand it could also mean that like it's been like you know, it's been so long between then and now that it could happen. I mean, the flashback. I think the flashback that we saw in this one. I'm pretty sure those were clone troopers. Right? I think the actual helmets did remind me of clone troopers from back in the prequels. So, pretty sure those are clone troopers, and I think clone troopers going up against Jedi too. So I think that could have been Order 66. That could have easily been Order 66 if the clones were actually attacking the Jedi. So. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I think either way, I think either the time difference could have made things more vague, or even actually the fact that like actually going through something as traumatic as losing the first family he ever had and losing all the people around him and actually even being potentially attacked himself could have been so traumatic that his mind has just kind of blocked it out and he just can't really access it, even willfully or anything. So definitely no other Jedi capable of actually incapable of actually breaching his walls can actually access those memories too. But then yeah, poor Grogu, he just kind of hasn't really had the easiest or brightest kind of past, and the one good thing about his past is now being offered to him as an ultimatum of family or power. So kind of hate Luke for that, but either way, we got a glimpse into his memories and actually a glimpse into like his past and like his kind of as far into his past as Luke could reach. So that was not the prettiest of sights, but I mean, not to say that the Clone Wars is the only kind of big tragedy, or that even the Clone Wars only consisted of clone troopers killing Jedi. I'm pretty sure like the actual Clone Wars series does the actual Clone Wars series does cover like an actual multitude of different kind of battles and events and different kind of tragedies that kind of all kind of culminate that all kind of equally make up the Clone Wars and just how kind of tragic it was for everyone involved and everyone who kind of survived it, but didn't really kind of have the privilege of having people that they knew and loved survive it too. So could have either been something directly Clone Wars related. Could have either been something directly Clone Wars related with the clone troopers, or it could have been just one of the many events happening under the Clone Wars kind of time period. So either way, he lost it. He lost people. So yeah. But yeah, we had Ahsoka back. I think that was the one. I think no one really talked about it. No one even theorized. No one speculated. I just, I did not think they would be bringing her back into this, and it was the most pleasant, most wonderful surprise ever. We had Ahsoka Tano back on the very same planet, in the very same kind of air, the very same kind of setting that Luke was training Grogu in, and with good reason too. She is again I'm pretty sure that at this point she would be a Jedi Master. I'm pretty sure she has become like an actual Jedi Master. She's mastered the Force, mastered lightsabers, and even dual wielding them, like we saw last time. And she is a master in her own right and to her own skills and merits and everything. So she would very much be present here as well. I think last time we saw her too, I think she was looking for, what was his name? I think she was looking for a guy last time in Mandalorian. Was it Admiral? I think Admiral. I think like a Grand Admiral something, like a Thorn. No, Thorn. Is it Thorn? No, I think Thorn's a Flash. Thorn's a Thorn or Thrawn. I think Thrawn maybe. Thrawn with the R in between. I think Thrawn maybe. Yeah. I think like Grand Admiral Thrawn or like Admiral Master Thrawn, or I think. So something like Admiral was there. Admiral was one of the titles, and then his actual name was Thrawn. I've seen pictures of him too. He's blue as fuck too. I think he's blue with red eyes too. I think he's an animated character originally too. So I think he could either be from Rebels or Clone Wars. But I'm pretty sure he's also I think he's also he's also an antagonist from either Clone Wars or Rebels. So I think he's Grand Admiral or Grand Master, like Admiral Thrawn, something Admiral Thrawn or something. So she was looking for him. She was looking for him. So either she was here to recharge and have like a bit of a break, or actually kind of rendezvous with herself before she set out to find him, or she was here looking for clues and looking for answers, maybe actually working with Luke. So either way, that was cool. But yeah, I think seeing her on screen with Luke, like knowing, Clone Wars fans would be able to appreciate her screen time with Luke a lot more than I would. But I think even me kind of like knowing just how rich her history kind of is, and even if I haven't watched it, I think I'm still kind of like aware, at the very least aware of like just I'm still at the very least aware of just how rich her history is. With both Obi-Wan and Luke, but with both Obi-Wan and Anakin. But I think because Anakin in the series it is meant to be her Jedi kind of master too. She is his Padawan, so she has like the richest she has the richest history with him. So I feel like if you're at the very least aware of who she is and what her kind of role is in Clone Wars, I feel like if you know at least the bare minimum of that history, you can still kind of appreciate her presence and her screen time with Luke deep down, and actually kind of understand just how kind of impactful that might be, of actually like of her having spent years with his father even before he kind of went all Darth side and everything. So. That wasn't like a typo. I was trying to make a pun on Darth and Dark, and it probably didn't work. But either way, given how much time she spent with Anakin and how well she presumably got to know him and all the things that they accomplished together, actually seeing him with his son, who is also an avid user of the Force and who is actually much more in tune with the light side, and actually still stayed that way too. I think it's very easy to see how impactful her being able to, because I think I think not only is she being brought into live action, but then her past is canon, her history with Luke, I don't know why I keep saying Luke, her history with Anakin, and that's how the family is still all canon. Her history entirely is canon, even in live action. So it makes it all the more kind of impactful and kind of heart just wrenching, knowing what she's been through with with this father already, but then also actually now being in touch and actually kind of being in contact and actually kind of having some kind of like a working friendship / relationship with actual having like a working friendship with Luke as well, and actually knowing that he's like an actual avid kind of he's a trained and qualified Jedi Master and user of the Force too, and actually kind of having that kind of connection with him and stuff. And even she, I think she even told him, I think either face to face or even telepathically, I think she even actually told him like, oh, the Mandalorian is here, and he wants to see Grogu. But then of course she probably told him afterwards like, okay, well, he made his own decision, he walked away, but he did leave with a parting gift, so give it to Grogu in your own time and everything. So yeah, I mean, well, we saw her passing the gift on to Luke in by the river and everything, so there was that. And yeah, I think in talking to Mando, I mean, I love that Mando showed up and no one was anywhere to be found except for Ahsoka. But then even then, no one was, when he first got there, no one, I mean, he met R2. R2 came back. R2 also made a great reappearance, and he took Mando to the site where the actual ant droids were actually building the school and everything, so that was cool. But then he actually saw them, and then a couple of ants came over with some bamboo sticks and some leaves and everything, and then they actually built him a bench, and then he saw a bench and he just napped for like God knows how long, for like 2, 3, maybe 4 hours, or just however long that they were training for, and then until he sensed Ahsoka nearby and actually started to wake up again. But yeah, no, so she told him that the thing that the ant droids were building, the ant droids, fuck me, I hate myself. But yeah, no, she revealed to him that the building that they were constructing was actually going to be the school, the official school that we see Luke having taught in the sequels and everything, the one that Ben burns down. Presumably, because I think the one that he burned down was actually meant to be bigger with more students, and I think maybe this one is meant to be like a smaller one for his first student. But then after maybe Grogu's success is what actually leads him to actually then go on to recruit more students and actually teach more kids and everything. And then of course Ben gets born and he grows up and he shows Force sensitivity and all that kind of stuff happens. So yeah, but then the plan was that he was going to start a school, and then Grogu would be his first student, and then hopefully Grogu would actually go on to be successful, and he would actually go on to, learn more about the Force and become like a fully trained Jedi in time, like in his own years and everything. So Grogu was actually set to be Luke's first student, and then I think presumably over time his success would then encourage Luke to actually attract more students, and then Ben would be the one to actually tear it all down afterwards. So yeah, Luke's kind of ultimatum again, it really rubbed me the wrong way. You know, so I figured he was gonna go that route. I figured, like, as soon as he didn't immediately pass it to Grogu, but instead set it to the side as if he was gonna put something opposite. I knew. I just got those vibes. Like, oh my god, he's gonna make him choose between staying at the school or actually taking the Beskar. I mean, didn't know it would be like, oh, I think, I didn't know taking the Beskar would mean that he would actually choose Mando immediately, but or that he would make him choose Mando, because then that's the ultimatum he gave him. But then I figured, oh, he'd make him choose between getting a lightsaber or getting Beskar armor and everything. But then the actual result of those choices is what the actual kind of ultimatum is. So he gets Yoda's lightsaber. He gets Yoda's original lightsaber, which is actually gonna go. So then that would be like a legacy lightsaber, actually passed down from him from like an original. I mean he's from Yoda's species, but I think there's no confirmation in any way that he's actually Yoda's direct descendant. Because I mean I mean. I again haven't checked any other mediums. So I'm really not sure if there's any other stories in Star Wars where Yoda had kids or Yoda had any kind of descendants like years and years in the future or something. So no direct confirmation as to whether Grogu is actually Yoda's descendant as well, or if he's simply just like another member of his species. So. But I think either way, it would be close enough to being like an actual legacy lightsaber as well. So there's that, but so there's that, and then so then the actual ultimatum is that if he chooses if he chooses the lightsaber, then he fully commits and he fully submits himself to the Jedi to the Jedi religion and the Jedi lifestyle. But then that means that he may never be able to see Din again. That means he may never be able to see his Mandalorian friend, as Luke put it, ever again. Because again, like a moment for him, like a few years for him, or even like a moment for him can be a few years, but a few years for him can easily be like years and years and years for someone else. So I think again, exactly the kind of thing I posited last time. The fact that like a few years for him can be like a lifetime for him can be like long beyond anyone else's lifespan for anyone else. So a few years for him, or like even like 100 years for him can feel like a short enough kind of year for him. But then for someone else like Din, he'd be long dead and he'd be long gone and everything. So he may never see the Mandalorian again. So if he chooses the lightsaber, that's that. But then if he chooses the Beskar, then he forgoes his Jedi training. He forgoes his Jedi training and all of his Force training, and then he actually goes back to the Mandalorian and he chooses family and love and a home with Din again. But then he can never learn about the. But I mean, well, yeah, but then I want to say he can never learn about the Force again, but then I don't know, because then that makes you question, like, are they really not? Because I think Ahsoka already said she would never teach him. I mean, or that she wouldn't, not never, but then Ahsoka already said that she made her choice not to teach him, so then she would never go back on that choice. So then she wouldn't, but then. I think he'd probably have to wait then until he can come up with like a. But then I think the issue then is that if he does do any Jedi training, he has to submit to it. Like if he does any Jedi or Force training whatsoever, he has to submit. He has to commit fully. He has to forego any other attachments. Like that's the whole point. That even the armor mentioned, like that's the whole point. He has to commit and forego any other kind of connections or attachments in his life that would hinder his thing, because then that is actually why Ahsoka actually warned him against seeing Grogu again, because then now the only reason that Grogu is as committed as he is now is because he hasn't seen Mando in a while. So then actually seeing Mando again would reignite old anxieties and old fears and old kind of like old feelings of actually missing Mando the way that he did before. So now if he sees Mando again, which I mean he technically did actually see him flying off in his new starfighter, but if he sees Mando face to face again, then Ahsoka warned him he may not perform as well as we all want him to in his upcoming sessions. So yeah, so then if he actually does go to Mando again, then that connection, that attachment would be rekindled. It would be arguably stronger than ever before. So that would actually mean that like he's then not only unable to revisit Jedi training without being faced with the same dilemma, but then he also might not actually be as eager or as willing to go, knowing that he would lose Mando all over again. So the point there is to I think the point there might be to, on the one hand, offer him a choice of his own accord, like Luke clearly isn't really kind of forcing him into anything. He's giving him the clearest of choices, like either Force training and a lightsaber, or Beskar armor with Mando and being back with his family and being back with his dad and everything. So he's giving him he's giving the clearest. He laid it out in the barest of ways too. I'm pretty sure he laid it out in the best of ways too. Actually, kind of like actually kind of giving him the kind of severity of actually choosing each choice. You go with Mando, you never learn about the Force again, but you go with the Force, you never see Mando again. So see the Mando or core Force powers and stuff. And I think again, I think the point of the force training too I think the point then of the force training too is to make sure that he's actually fully eloquent and fully qualified and fully trained in as many, if not all, aspects of the force. I think right now he's fully comfortable like levitating like one frog at a time and doing all that kind of stuff, and even actually dodging the occasional kind of remote reflex testing droids kind of lasers and everything. So he's good with actually jumping from rock to rock and doing all that kind of stuff. But then like he's not combat trained, he's not trained to resist any kind of torture or pain, or he's not trained to do a lot of different things. So I think he's very much kind of like achieved basic kind of force levels of he's very much achieved basic levels of force training, but there's so much more he has to learn. But then he can't do that unless he actually fully commits and doesn't really kind of think about Mando in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, So I think because of that being the cliffhanger that they actually end on to, I feel like that also might be like a somewhat of like a more. On the one hand, I do wonder if there's going to be somewhat more of like an actual personal kind of mission for Grogu to complete in the opening of season 3 of Mando. Because I really can't imagine they'll actually drag that kind of out too much. Because again, like the way they even ended it, like that's like a very on the spot question too. I feel like that alone was a very on the spot question that Luke asked. It didn't really feel like he was actually. It didn't really feel like he was telling him like, okay, I can see you're struggling, so go take go take time, go take a day or 2 or 3 or whatever you need, and then come back to me, and then after that we can continue training. So I think he takes days off of training to decide if he's ready to actually make decision, and then he actually does it. I mean, I feel like if they do give him time, that'll be how they do it in the opening. But then otherwise, I think I feel like otherwise it won't really stretch beyond the opening either. I think the opening alone might be dedicated to him making that decision, and then actually going forth with whatever decision he makes. And I think knowing Grogu, knowing how young Grogu is, I can picture him going with Mando. I can personally, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'll accept it. If I'm wrong, I'll be really upset, but I'll accept it. Not to do with being wrong, but then actually him not really choosing Mando. But then my personal theory right now is actually the fact that like given how young he is, given how still attached to Mando he is. I feel like as much as he does understand the importance of the Force, I think his memories are on the one hand very vague of what he's been through, but then also the memories he does have plagued with violence and death and destruction. I think that's also when thinking about the life of a Jedi, and when thinking about the power of the Force and actually mastering the Force and using the Force, when thinking about this lifestyle as a whole, he's probably going to be thinking back to what he can remember about what the people before him actually did, and then he's going to be thinking about how he lost all those people to clones and to all sorts of different kind of Jedi versus Sith kind of wars and battles and all these different things. I think he's going to be thinking about that, and then those thoughts are going to be plaguing his mind, and then instead of that turning him to the dark side, I think instead, I mean, that would be an interesting. I feel like, would that be too far fetched? Like to have like those memories turning him to the dark side, like maybe those memories turn him away from Force training, but then over time, the more he thinks about his past, the more he thinks about what he's lost, and the more he thinks about all the things he can't remember, and then maybe the more he actually does start to remember, maybe then he might actually start to remember more. Maybe then he actually might start to remember more pain and more death, and even darker memories that he's actually kind of locked away in his mind. And then if that ends up actually luring him, maybe not turning him fully, but then maybe that actually ends up luring him over to the dark side. And then maybe that happens around Mando. Maybe he chooses Mando. But then he starts to think more and more about what he's lost and all the pain and suffering that he's experienced in life at the hands of the Force, and that kind of power that both the Jedi and the Sith have wielded. And then maybe that darkness ends up luring him to the dark side. Maybe he ends up doing more harm than good. Maybe he ends up making more kind of rash decisions around Mando, and Mando starts to sense this kind of darkness and this kind of pain within him. So then maybe he actually takes him back to Luke, and maybe he actually tries to fix him or something. I don't know, but I feel like that could easily be one of the routes they take. So I think off the bat he chooses Mando, but then stuff starts happening, and then he actually starts to kind of get lured in, because he's already shown tendencies of he's already shown tendencies of using the Force to harm people in the past too. Like he took out like a fire trooper way back in season 1. He freaking force choked Cara Dune back in season 1 too. He force choked her. He's kind of shown, and he's seen damage too. Like almost the entire time he's been with Mando, him and Mando have been on the run away from people that want Grogu for what he is and who he is, and they want Grogu for the power he has. Like even Moff Gideon was actually running kind of blood experiments to kind of count the midichlorians in his blood and everything, to actually kind of use him and to exploit his power of the Force and everything. So I think they were almost his entire life has been plagued by people who want him, or they want the power within him, and that kind of, I think that kind of trauma, that kind of pain, that kind of loss, and those memories are not really going to add up to anything good in the future. So I think he might be at risk of actually turning to the dark side in the future, and then Din might kind of actually what's the word, just kind of like a recruit, or what's the word, fuck it, just I'm gonna go recruit. He might recruit the help of both Ahsoka and Luke in actually trying to get Grogu under control, and actually trying to teach him the ways of the light force, the light side of the Force and everything. So I don't know, maybe just maybe. Like I said, I think me kind of calling Luke's kind of ultimatum dickish and blackmailing and everything was just kind of me seeing that at face value, but then upon further inspection, it's like an accurate kind of judgment call to make on deciding whether or not someone is actually ready and fit, and like an eager student of the Force and everything. But then also, and I think that kind of thing, I think again, I am without a doubt willing to bet that kind of like a deal, that kind of like an ultimatum, that kind of an agreement can also be seen across various other mediums too. Like maybe that for all I know, I mean, I'm willing to bet there are countless other characters who are also students of the Force and students of various Jedi Masters who were given the same ultimatum too, of actually returning to a home and a life they once knew, or actually kind of embracing something new and actually committing themselves to something new, knowing what the cost was to their past as well as their future too. So I think that kind of like a new kind of deal may it actually feels a lot more common than I'm actually really giving it credit for. So there's that, but then also and again like an actual kind of true and tested kind of method of actually kind of weeding out, kind of not weeding out, but actually kind of like seeing who actually is there, kind of actually willing to be like an actual Jedi Master, and actually willing to learn about their powers, and actually willing to learn about their gifts, even if they don't end up using it the way that most Jedi Masters do in the end. Maybe actually just kind of like just gaining like a better and more general kind of understanding of what the Force is, what it means, and what it means to be a Force wielder. So that way they can actually make sure, okay, so this person doesn't succumb to all their pain and all their tragedy and all their kind of trauma and become like an actual student of the dark side instead. So maybe this way we can actually kind of keep them in check and make sure that they actually have like a more kind of stable and more kind of like a more kind of like a what's the word, like a more neutral kind of understanding of what the Force is, even if they don't want to be like a fully trained Jedi Knight or whatever. But then as long as we make sure that they don't stray uncontrollably towards the dark side, then it's all worth it in the end. So yeah. And yeah, I think overall it definitely kind of helps set up some great things for season 3 too, and actually showcasing what Grogu's journey ahead might be, and how Mando himself might have to deal with that too, like if and when they do actually reunite, and then Mando finds out the kind of choice that he made, and he finds out about the deal he made, and like exactly what Grogu's future might look like, then it kind of really offers up some, even outside of like Jedi training and like possible future kind of dark side stuff. I think it generally just kind of sets up like a really interesting kind of new path for Grogu and Mando to follow, both individually and as a clan of their own making too. So because now Mando is just a guy without a creed. He's now a Mandalorian without a creed, and Grogu is like a little foundling with like the decision of his life to make ahead of him. So the decision he makes will obviously impact his life in ways that he can't imagine. But then also like I think having him choose Mando first really kind of puts both of them through their paces. I feel like I think having him choose Mando first and actually going back to Mando as well, like Mando being a guy without a creed, a guy without like a proper home to go to in the end, and now Grogu being like an actual little foundling with the powers of the Force, but then being like untrained in all the important aspects and all the kind of necessary aspects, to kind of puts them both at risk, I feel. And everything of actually running into more trouble, but then actually facing more and more risks and more stakes as they go forward. So I think because of that, I think season 3 might actually be a lot more dramatic and a lot more tense and a lot more kind of action packed than we're really kind of truly ready for. So because of that, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what they can pull off and seeing how they can actually pull it off and everything. So yeah, all the more reason for me to actually get into Clone Wars and seeing and get into all these other series and actually seeing what they have to offer and seeing exactly how well they translate into live action and into other stories and everything. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. And then back on Tatooine too, we had Boba gathering his people again. He's right now again. He's running low on muscle. Even with Mando being there, even with Mando, I think I love that. I love that little greeting too. Like the briefest of greetings too. I think with Fennec kind of announcing that Mando was there and that he was easily that him and Chris Anthony easily kind of like mutually kind of actually resulted in the best enforcers they could ask for. And even Mando being in the corner, being like they're like sir to Boba, and then Boba be like, yeah, hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you joining the fight again, actually being by my side again. So again, Boba and Mando are both kind of like in it. They're both kind of in it by the arms and actually handshaking and hand holding and everything. So like they're both in it for each other and they actually trust each other and they've actually worked together and everything. So seeing that kind of friendship actually hopefully flourishing in Mando season 3 and or Boba Fett season 2. Is going to be one hell of a thing to witness, so can't wait for that. But then I think with this one, they did go as far as to analyze. They did go as far as to establish that right now they need to focus on control and stabilization of the Pyke territories and everything, and making sure that the Pikes don't spread out or cause too much trouble. But then now they need to prepare for the absolute worst anyway, because then with the way the Pikes are going, they are headed towards full control. But then if full control can only really be established in like a fully blown out war, then knowing the Pikes, they will be more than happy to actually go in that direction once they get once they get all of their kind of outposts and spy stations up and running, and once they're ready to actually kind of launch like an actual kind of armed kind of siege or kind of military kind of execution or whatever. Like once they're fully ready to launch an army on Tatooine and actually launch an army into all the necessary kind of spots and cities, then Boba Fett will have to be ready for a war, and he'll have to actually have he'll have to have an army behind him. Right behind him to actually fight their war. And then I think Mando kind of being the only other kind of specialized bounty hunter in the area too, he will have to be ready to kind of personally tackle Cad Bane himself, and then everyone else kind of takes on their own specialized opponents, and it's going to be that kind of a war and everything. So yeah, it should be interesting. But Garsa Fwip, I really don't know if she's dead. I mean, I feel like we kind of have to assume that everyone in that bar is dead now. The Pikes walked in with a kind of case of some kind. They sat down for a few minutes, refused any drinks or any service, then just walked out. And I figured the way they were walking out without the way they walked in and out without taking anything, without accepting any service, without taking anything, without doing anything, they just came in, sat down, left that thing behind, and walked out. And then even with the droid going over and being like, "Hey, you forgot your little thing that you carried in here with," I was like, "Oh my god, this is the way they're going with this." And even Garsa Fwip being the last thing we see before the explosion too. I think that was just like it had plantage written all over it and everything. So yeah, they planted a bomb. They left. I don't even know if they actually. I'm not even sure if the Pikes themselves actually made it out before the bomb went off or anything. Because I think the droid definitely asked them while they were still within the area, while they were still actually within the bar and everything. So then straight afterwards the bomb went off. So. The droid is gone. Whether or not Garsa Fwip is gone is, I feel like she has to be. I feel like she really has to be, because I feel like that then is the Pike sending a message. That then is the Pikes actually sending a message that they're coming after Mos Espa too. So then that has to be that, and then every other kind of alien in that bar is either is dead and or severely injured. So it is either dead or severely injured. So that then again, like the general kind of message behind that scene is the Pyke sending a message to Boba that they have now brutally and very, very savagely attacked Mos Espa, and one of their finest and most popular establishments too. So now Gossip is gone, the aliens are gone. You know, I mean, luckily, I think no one else that Boba knew was there to actually get hurt. So it's mainly I feel like Cobb Vanth being taken out by Cad Bane, and this bombing is just the Pyke sending a message. It's literally just the Pyke sending a message and being like, you know, we know what you're doing, we know you're gearing up to fight against us, and if you do that, then you will lose, and we will fight back even harder. So now it's them showing off their firepower, them showing off their prowess, them showing off their ability to strike unseen and everything, and even their ability to retaliate. Even their ability to retaliate in the light of his efforts and everything. So yeah, I don't know. So Gossip is gone. Gossip Whip is now gone. So she was cool while she lasted. She was definitely cool while she lasted. But now Mos Espa has been attacked. So now not even the daimyo's kind of home territory is even safe now. With them attacking this close, not even his home territory is that safe. So now they got to gear up for war in season 2. Yeah, that is it from me. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then absolutely feel free to leave a like and comment what your thoughts are on this episode, on this finale, on this season as a whole, on this story, and how you felt about it, and what you hope to see from these characters and these stories moving forward, what your theories are for what we might see in the future, and what you hope to see, and what you're looking forward to seeing as well. And how you felt about the cameos and all these different surprises and twists and turns and everything. So leave your comments down below. Full-length reaction for those interested will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.